Good evening. This is David Lynn, your prepper principal, and this is another edition of Coffee Talk. Coffee Talk number 104, Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. Sumi, how are you doing? Thank you for coming. And AP Heathen, thank you for coming in, AP Heathen. I'm trying to get my stuff up. Come on now. Hope y'all are doing okay. It's a little wet and cool in Victoria, Texas. I am trying to get my live stream up on my phone. It's not showing it. Dag nabbit. I used my phone to look at the chat because the iPad's not that good for that. So I'm having difficulty. 5 likes and 5 in the house. Good evening, all of you. Trying to figure out who you are. Phone's still not picking up the stream. Well, dag nabbit. Well, finally. My phone is finally picking up the stream. Figures. So, sue me, KP Heathen, Melinda Elliott. Thank you for coming in, Melinda. How are y'all doing? Who else is here? Little Lone Prepper. Hi, Little Lone Prepper. 6 in the house. How are y'all doing? Everybody doing okay? Another day at work. Wednesday. Got 2 more days and I'll be off for 17 days for Christmas break. I'm looking forward to those 17 days off. I'm tired. I'm still a little sick. And excuse me, I had hell with the kids today. The Bud Files. Thanks for coming in. The kids were absolutely horrible today. Problem kids are their own worst enemies. They really are. They're very narcissistic. All they think about themselves. They're very they can be very cruel. They pick on each other. They pick on other kids that don't have anything to do with them. They're bullies. Most of them. when they have their fits, they try to destroy stuff. You know, they try to do damage. Now, let's think about SHTF. Okay. SHTF happens, or Teowaki, or what do you want to call it. And everything starts shutting down. The power grid shuts down. It stops the flow of water. Stores aren't able to get resupplied. The machines don't work. Maybe at the very beginning they accept cash if you've got cash. The stores clean out. People start panicking. Most people aren't prepared. People start looting, rioting. And the number of people that are destructive and not all there, they just basically cut loose. Well, yeah, you could say it's part of their disability. Uh, a lot of these kids, well, I'm really qualified to talk about special education and handicapping conditions. And I'll try to briefly give you an explanation. In 1973, the government passed the Rehabilitation Act, which established what we call Section 504. And that identified people who needed assistance in their education and what they call accommodations. Now, there was no federal funding for this, so it was like state funding or no funding. So a lot of what they did was just band-aid type stuff. Like they'd have a meeting and they'd say, well, this kid qualifies for 504 and these are some accommodations that you need to provide to them. And then in 1975, they passed 94-142. Public Law 94-142 was the 94th Congress, and it was a special education law, the Education for All Handicapped Children's Act. And that carried federal dollars. And there had always been programs for kids who were very low functioning. The idea of the mentally challenged, the ones who everybody understood that they were mentally challenged. The very, very, very low IQ'd ones, which make up less than 2% of the population. You know. Cold War Prepper, thanks for coming in, Lee. The idea of the bell curve of intelligence The idea of the bell curve of intelligence is, it looks like this. And right in the very middle is the individual who has a 100 IQ. The average IQ is supposed to be 100. So for every person above 100 IQ, there's a person below 100 IQ. And they talk about what they call standard deviations. A standard deviation. A standard deviation is 15 points. So the idea is 67% of the population, no, 68% of the population have an IQ basically between about 90 and 110. And that's considered average intelligence. So if you have an IQ between 90 and 110, Cha Cha Marie, thank you for coming in. You are considered to be normal intelligence. And the higher up you go, the fewer people there are. And the lower down you go, the fewer people there are. Special education nationally. Now, this is a statistic that I'm going to give you from a few years ago, because I really haven't been up. I haven't been up on it. I haven't really kept up with it since I had retired. Now, yeah, I'm back working, but I really haven't. I really haven't, been into that aspect of it. I've basically been teaching kids, And the idea up until, a few years ago is that nationally about 12.5%, about 12.5% of the population qualify for special education services under a handicap. There are different there are like, God, how many different handicapping conditions are? I can think maybe 13. The largest number are what they call learning disabled. Kids who have a learning disability. They've been identified through testing as having a learning disability in reading, in math, certain aspects. Kids who are mentally challenged, they're under 2% of the population. 1% would be normally between about an IQ of about 70 and 55, which are considered trainable. You can train them. They can live a life, with supervision. And then the other 1% are the ones 55 and below. Fewer as you go lower, the fewer there are, but they're the ones that need constant attention. They have to have attention, when it comes to feeding, when it comes to hygiene, using the restroom. A lot of them got severe health impediments. Some of them can't talk. Some of them are blind. There are multiple handicaps involved with that. And so the ones that I tend to deal with are the ones that they call emotionally disturbed, ED. And they make up less than 2% of the population. Now, they may also have other handicapping conditions. Some of them are learning disabled. Some of them, uh, they have they have what they call dual diagnosis or multiple diagnosis, like autistic. They're on the spectrum, autism. Um, a few of them are, are mentally challenged, lower IQs. They might have a speech handicap, speech impediment. They may have a hearing handicap, you know, hearing impaired, vision impaired. There's a lot of different handicapping conditions, but the main one is learning disability, LD, learning disabled, and then the other ones you hear about are like auditory, speech, vision, autism, emotional disturbance, mental challenge, other health impaired. They've got a health impediment. That's another one. I think there's like 13 different ones, major ones that they identify. Guru of Baseball Cards, thank you for coming in, Guru Dave. But as I was saying, I work primarily with a behavioral unit, which consists of mainly kids who are emotionally disturbed, and they may have some additional tertiary handicaps. So at any rate, I had some difficulties today. A couple of them. They're real bad when you get them together. A couple of the girls. Just, ooh, God almighty. They won't be quiet. They won't stop messing with each other. They don't listen to you. They talk back to you. Just horrible. And you have to deal with it. Because those are the kids that nobody else wants to deal with. So they get placed into your unit for you to try to work on them, and they get counseling from people. They get psychological counseling. They may have a case manager that works with them from MHMR, mental health, mental retardation. They call it it's called HMR, MHMR, and they may be taking medication for ADHD or for some sort of for different conditions. And you don't take it personally. They might they disrespect me. They call me an old man. They make fun of me. They'll cuss at you. They threaten you. And you deal with it. I'm a retired school administrator. I've dealt with that for years and years and years and years and years. And the thing is, you don't take it personally, and you document it, document their behavior, you let their parents know. I text their parents, at the end of the day, so and so had a bad day, blah 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 blah. They know what they have. They'll apologize to you. Sorry. And and I look at them, and down the road, what do you think they'll be doing down the road? Where will they be down the road? When they're older, because these are junior high kids. But just referencing that in prepping. Okay. So, what happens down the road if SHTF actually happens and law enforcement breaks down? Society starts breaking down. People start worrying about themselves and their immediate families. What do you do if you're actually prepared? You're prepped, and you've got food for a year, and You've got medication, and you got a generator, you got generators, you got solar power, you've got hygiene set up, got plenty of water, means to heat, means to cool, but there's no government to help you maintain order. What do you do? Are you prepared to protect what's yours? Do you know how to? Do you have what it takes? You know. Those are things to think about. Hopefully that never happens. But those are things to think about. I certainly wouldn't want to be in one of the big blue cities that have riots. You know. You remember the George Floyd riots? Those horrible policemen that reportedly murdered that poor black man who was just minding his own business? That was the narrative that the media played. And that was the narrative that you got when those officers went on trial. In all those blue cities, they rioted and they burned and they looted and they caused all sorts of grief, and law enforcement basically stood by, did very little. Government stood by, the court stood by, prosecutors stood by. Nothing happened. Billions of dollars in damages, which the insurance companies spread out to the people who were paying insurance all over the country. I don't mean to depress everybody, but I mean, that's what we live with. That's what you live with. It's funny. You have health insurance. I've had health insurance since I was in my 20s. I'm past 60 now. And you have health insurance and you pay a certain amount for it. And there are other people that have health insurance and they pay that same amount. Now, you're very healthy and you very rarely use it. You're young. Maybe you go get a physical every year, what they call a wellness checkup now. You get sick 2 or 3 times a year. You go to the doctor, get a prescription for some antibiotics, cough medication. Maybe they give you a shot. How much does that cost the insurance company? You make a co-payment, and then you're paying out so much every month. And they're making a killing on you. Well, as you get older, you get into your later 30s and 40s, and you're not in shape the way you were. You don't exercise the way you did. You don't eat the healthiest food. And you start having some issues. Some people start having sugar problems, their blood sugar, or they start having a heart condition. They start having problems. Maybe kidney problems, different problems. And they start going to the doctor more, and they're using their insurance more. And maybe they have to have a surgery for something or other. They have a gallbladder surgery. Maybe, you get a certain age, they got to do a bypass on you, your heart. You have something, a woman needs a hysterectomy. Things happen. And it costs a lot of money. You start taking a lot of maintenance medications. The insurance isn't making any money on these people. And the insurance is putting out more than they're bringing in. So they depend on the younger people. Because the younger people are basically paying for the older people and the profits that the insurance company makes. Willie Jilly, how's it going? In Smashing Machine, my friend. Yeah, yeah, that happens. Rage. Yep. And they get mad. Yep, that happens. How are you doing, Willie Jilly? You know, I'm basically using y'all for a counseling session right now. I'm trying to decompress from the day. It was a rough day at school today. And I have to go back for a couple more days before I finish the semester. Oh, I'm tired. How am I doing? I'm tired. I'm still not completely well. I I'm trying to get the semester finished. Like I got all my grading done. I got my grading inputted. I got my conduct grades inputted. I did my individual education plan progress reports on how the kids are meeting their goals. I got that inputted. I still need to. I got an ARD the first week we get back in January that I've got to prep up for. I've got to write individual education plans for all the different content areas. The kids in 8th grade will be going to 9th grade next year, and I've got to write what the acronym is a PLATH. Basically, that describes the education program and how the kid's doing, what their issues are. Something you can read. It's like a breakdown on the kid. I've got to write that, and it's been so long since I've done those kind of things. So I'm sort of like a rookie again, and it's like I'm flying by the seats of my pants, trying to what I need to do. Um, so that's basically how I'm doing. I got some more stuff in that I've been ordering, and I been ordering what you call preps items that I can use to, in case something happens, or even even whether something happens or not. Um, I ordered a 12 pack of this Nest Calf Classical. It's a dark roast. I can't get this in Walmart. I got this on Amazon, and it's 7 sticks per box, and I ordered a pack of 12, so it's 12 boxes, 84 sticks, and I paid like $12 for it from Amazon. So I liked it so much, I gave a little pack to each of the two paraprofessionals got one each, and then I ordered another 12 pack. You know, good stuff. And the idea of prepping is you want to have plenty on hand. So I ordered some stuff to have on hand. Proud Islander. Well, yeah, people are taking leave of their senses. Uh, People are taking leave of the senses. You know, I see where somebody mentioned Old Fort Gaming. Um, Before I went back to work, my channel was growing by leaps and bounds. And I remember, Old Fort Gamer was behind me, you know, and he would come on my channel. He would come on, a lot, and I'd go on his channel, you know. And I really haven't been going on his channel much lately. I'll catch a short, where I'll go over and I'll say hello on a live stream, for a minute or two. Hey, Old Fart Gaming. I was just talking about you. Mike Rye, Smashing Machine, mentioned you. And I was talking about how your channel has just been growing by leaps and bounds. At one time, my channel was bigger than his, and now his channel is way bigger than mine. He's up around 2,000 now, I think. Maybe more. I hadn't checked recently. But he taught me some stuff about gaming. He liked to do those tank battles, and I'd go in there and I'd watch it, and he'd say, "Hold back, hold back," and he'd be holding back, and then all of a sudden, boom, and he'd get a hit in. And see, they didn't. Well, he's a little bit of he's a little bit older too. He calls himself Old Fart, and Koki Dawn 216. Let me look at your channel real fast. Think you're new in here. Koki Dawn. I just subscribed you, so I'm new to your channel. You have 463 subscribers. I'm going to share you out on my channel. This is Koki Dawn's. And let me see where you at, Koki Dawn. And I'm going to give you a standard moderator. So you're now a standard moderator on my channel. Welcome. Here's another one. OFG Raid. Kaz. Let me look at your channel, Kaz. CAZ1. Let me go to your channel. Chaz1. Let me write this down. QI61C. All right, Chaz, I just subscribed your channel. Welcome. Let me share you out. This is a link to Chaz's channel. And where are we? Chaz. Oh, Chaz. There you go. And I will give you a standard moderator on my channel. You're now a standard moderator on my channel. And here's another one. Dave DH Trains. Dave, D-A-V-E, D-H Trains. I used to love trains when I was a kid. Used to make them, put them together. Let's look at your channel. Oh, you got a pretty good sized channel. Dave, I just subscribed you. Let me share you out. This is Dave's Trains. And Dave, let me give you a standard moderator. You are now a standard moderator on my channel. And we have another one. Melissa, let me write you down. Melissa, Jain. Let me go to your channel. Melissa's got 1.15. Melissa, I just subscribed you. Hopefully you will subscribe back. You guys, I'm saying I'm just subscribing. I will try to go by and visit you later. Give you a little love. Let me share you out. And these are all good channels, and they should, if you will join them, they will join you, and we all grow together. This is Melissa's channel. Let me give you a standard moderator. You are now a standard moderator. So guys, several new channels in here today. We usually add 1 or 2 every day, but I got 3 or 4 new ones in here right now. 4 new channels so far this evening. 14 in the house, 16 likes. Here's another one. Legendary Wolf Crew. Welcome. Let me go look at your channel. Whoa, Legendary Wolf Crew, 20.4K. I am now subscribed to your channel. Let me link you. I'm sharing your link right now. Legendary Wolf Crew. And where are we? Here we are. And I will give you standard moderator. Welcome to my channel. Really? Bust up. So you say they're all the same person? I don't know. Anybody else in here I didn't catch? So, I got something new in that I had ordered. I got a package. I'm always ordering stuff. And I bought a new medical kit. doing a mail call. This is a first aid kit, 210 piece. Car, workplace, outdoors. And it is a general medical kit. Seems to be pretty full, pretty well packed. Zippered. This seems to be pretty comprehensive. A lot of good stuff in it. A lot of good stuff in it. I will do a video on it. I'll do a video this week sometimes on it, and I'll go through it. And I'll talk about some stuff to add to it, probably. I don't know. It's pretty well packed up. So I don't know if I can put, you know, a pressure bandage or a tourniquet in it. I don't know that it comes with a pressure bandage or a tourniquet. I don't think it comes with either one of those. But I will do a video on it later in the week. Devil Dog Prepper, good evening. How are you doing, sir? Hope you are doing well. Yeah, we grow stronger together. All right, Lee. I guess Lee's getting ready for his own live stream. He'll probably do at 8 Central Time. Lee, the Cold War Prepper, he does some very good live streams, and he's retired military. Game over. I don't know. You know, I'm not greedy. I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. Mike, I don't know what you're laughing about. How's the missus and the babies? How are they doing? Having an adult beverage, Devil Dog. Well, that sounds good. When I was younger, my preferred adult beverage was Crown Royal with Coke Classic in ice. I don't drink alcohol, you know, much anymore. So I will tell you that I'm concerned about all of the conflict that we have going on. We've got a lot of conflict in different parts of the world. Everybody hates everybody. Um, a lot of it's related to religion. You know, what does it matter? Why would I want to hate you for your religion as long as you don't hate me for mine? You know, why do I want conflict with you as long as you don't want conflict with me? You know, but you got a lot of people. It's like, well, if you're not one of us, you're against us. You know, and they hate those that aren't one of them. And yeah, I try to set an example for the wife and the kid. I've got a daughter, you know, and I set an example for her. She's graduating Saturday. She'll be getting her master's degree in counseling. Very proud of her. Beautiful young lady, 25 years old. Her next test, and it is a test, is to get her licensed professional counseling so she can LPC, licensed licensed professional counselor credentials, so that she can do professional counseling on her own and make a lot more money than she's making now. She works for Gulf Coast MHMR, I guess it is. Case manager, does youth counseling. She's been doing her internship under a licensed counselor. So I hope everybody gets a little bit from what I talk about. I spent some time talking about, you know, mental illness and uh, special education, which involves younger folks. Normally, the way the education system's set up right now, you start school usually at age 5 or 6. You can go to kindergarten at 5. Pre-kindergarten would be 4, and early childhood would be like 3. But normally they start at 5 or 6. First grade's usually 6 years old when you start first grade, and usually you're 17 going on 18 or 18 when you graduate after high school, which ends in 12th grade. Special education services through the school system usually ends at age 18. However, if a student is mentally challenged, they used to call mental retardation, if they're mentally challenged or mentally impaired, they can continue receiving services until they're 21. And usually they're not graduated until they're 21. They usually age out of the program, and they usually are transitioned into adult services through MHMR. So I've actually had kids way back in the day graduating at the age of 22 from high school. MR kid transitioning into adult services through MHMR, you know. Creative redundancy, thank you for coming in. 7 in the house, 19 likes. If you have not left a like, please leave a like. Thank you. A lot of good new channels coming in, established channels. If you're not connected to them, please connect to them. I will be visiting some of these channels after the live stream. Had 5 of them come in pretty close to one another. Right about the time my friend Old Fart Gaming came in. And if you want to go looking for Old Fart Gaming, you need to put 2023 because there's quite a few old farts. So if you just look for Old Fart or Old Fart Gaming, you'll pull up several. But if you want to get my Old Fart Gaming, it's Old Fart Gaming 2023. And then you'll get him. And I need to check him to see how many subscribers he has now. He's been growing. Outgrew me. There have been a number of channels I was bigger than. They're bigger than me now. And likewise, when I was like on my fast growth pace before I came back to work, there are channels that were bigger than me that I passed up, and now I'm a lot bigger than they are. Well, they're catching up to me now. But I mean, just I was in the groove. I was putting in 7-8 hours a day on my channel. And you put in 7 or 8 hours a day on your channel, and you know what you're doing, you're going to be growing. You are going to be growing. A gaming channel. Yeah. People specialize, and it's like too much. You get into a niche, and yeah, you get followers, but you're limited by what you get. So I try to do lots of different stuff. I love ration reviews. I watch ration review channels. There are guys who do great ration reviews, and they might get 300-400 views on a ration that they do, and they've only got 300-400 subscribers. Now there are really big ration review channels, but there aren't that many of them. But it's a niche when it comes to the small guys, and they got a following, and they may be following 50-60 channels that they watch everything that they put out. They put out 1 or 2 reviews a week maybe, and you got to broaden it out a little bit. Don't just do ration reviews. So I try to do I was doing food, like making food, and putting videos together, and I would put segments in my videos where I would have a different intro, and I'd have a different outtake, music, graphics, such, and my videos would be a series of segments, and then I did some premieres, like hell, it was a 25-minute video, I did it as a premiere, just tons of people there. And it'd get 500 views inside of a couple of weeks. 500 in a couple of weeks. I had less than 1,000 subscribers, but my video would pull in a 500-600 views. And I've had videos. The first ration review I ever did had like 1,300 views. I did a review on a 12-volt refrigerator that I have. It gave out on me, and I replaced it. But I did a review on the Alpicool 50-quart fridge freezer. 8,000 views. It's the most views I've had, and it still gets views. About 8,000 views. And I've got some videos that have several thousand views, and I've got some shorts that have 800, 900 views. I haven't had a short hit 1,000 yet, but so I always tell people, treat people the way you want to be treated. Respect everyone. Lead by example. Set an example for people. When you see a responder, you see a veteran, You see somebody in law enforcement, thank them. Make their day. Thank them for their service. A lot of people are, have grown up and been being taught, oh, you know, F the police, defund the police. The police are bad people and all this, I mean, idiots. These are idiots. Um, who do you think is going to come to your house when when you call that you're being robbed? Who are you going to call? Law enforcement. Law enforcement, they're your friend. They're not your enemy. You know, your average police officer is a family man. Your average deputy sheriff, they're family men. They got wives and kids of their own or husbands. You know, thank them for their service. They're not doing it to get rich. And the same thing, firemen risk their lives. EMS, they risk catching all sorts of stuff. Medical workers, they risk catching stuff. Thank them. Hell, thank your postman, guy who delivers your mail. Thank them. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Respect your elders. One day you'll be an elder. Maybe you're an elder now. I was taught to respect my elders. Now that I'm an older guy, they need to respect me, and a lot of them do, but then a lot of them don't. A lot of the young people make fun of you because of your age. You're old. I mean, there are places where you've got just the trash of the earth assaulting old people. Up in the Northeast, in New York City, they had a lot of issues with uh, young thugs attacking elderly people. They call it the knockout game. They walk up to them, try to blindside them, and try to knock them out with one punch. 60, 70, 80-year-old people, men, women. Seriously, they've killed a few people that way. And they usually don't get caught because they're usually wearing a mask. They're usually covered up. Nobody knows who they are. They run off. And what sort of upbringing did they have that they do stuff like that? Think about that. And people who do stuff like that, hello, Idaho Garden Girl. What sort of what do you think somebody like that deserves? You think they're going to be in the kingdom? I'm one of the biggest sinners in the world, but I'd never do anything like that. You know. Think about that. Stuff like that happens. They're having a lot of issues with. I talk to my daughter, she's young, all the time. I pray for her every day about her safety. There are a lot of thugs out there attacking attractive young women. Stalking them. They get them, they abuse them, and they kill them, dump their bodies someplace. And oftentimes they get caught. And then they'll show the picture, and it's usually some thug. Might be an immigrant, illegal alien, thugs. Oftentimes they find that they've got records already, but that the liberal, woke attorneys didn't prosecute them or let them off. The judge let them off with light sentence, probation, a fine, no bail. I mean, think about that. Think about that. Yeah. And then you should be able to defend yourself. I mean, Texas is a open carry state. You can open carry it, you can conceal carry it. You don't have to have a permit for it. Just don't be a criminal. Um, we believe in gun control. You should be able to hit your target. That's gun control. Yep, truly is. If you don't have a good pistol, I tell people get a good revolver, 6-shooter, 6 shots. If you can't stop a problem with 6 shots, God help you. Like a 3-inch barrel, like a 38 special. Get a 357 and use 38 special or plus P in it, hollow points. Or if you don't want a pistol, get yourself a good 20 gauge pump shotgun with triple aught buckshot. It'll hold several rounds. Trust me, you'll clear the building. You'll take care of the problem. And you don't have to be that accurate. Just point it in their general direction, and when you fire, trust me, it'll do a world of good. Oh, you have no reason to own a weapon. We have no reason to have a wall. But then all these rich politicians that are talking about we don't need a border wall, they got big walls around their homes, and they've got security services, and they might have on-site security. They got big money, but then they don't want us to have protection. We can't afford their security, so we want to have a pistol or a shotgun or something. Oh, those people with their clinging to their Bibles and their guns, the arrogance of the way they talk about us. Think about that. It is absolutely disgusting. Well, Idaho Garden Girl, you be safe in your driving. I will be visiting you. I tell you what, Idaho Garden Girl was doing some dehydrating. She was using a dehydrator. If you haven't seen that video, she it's a recent video of hers. It's 7, 8, 10 minutes, and she was doing some tomatoes, some cherry tomatoes, slicing them up and dehydrating them. I used to love to do dehydrating back in the 80s and the 90s. My mother, we had a dehydrator, and I used to like to do banana chips. That was my favorite, banana chips. And you could do strawberries, and you could do tomatoes, and you could do cucumbers, and you slice the stuff real thin. You could dehydrate all sorts of stuff, And back in the day. But I mean, people do it today, just don't have time. But I love banana chips. Freeze-dried foods. A lot of people will invest in a freeze dryer, and you can invest in a freeze dryer and make your own freeze-dried food. The stuff that costs the most that you buy, like if you buy freeze-dried food, the meat items are the ones that are going to cost you the most. You'll pay $50, $60 a can or more for meat. I mean, just like just freeze-dried hamburger meat or whatever. Freeze-dried chicken chunks or whatever. You'll pay more for that than for the other freeze-dried, like when you talk about number 10 cans. Yeah, I can imagine. I watch these videos and we talk about food, and all that, and it makes me hungry. It does. So anyway, I will plan on being back tomorrow for Coffee Talk number 105 at 7 p.m. Central Time. I appreciate y'all coming in. If you would, please, if you have not left a like, please leave a like. And if you would, please come back after the live stream's over and leave a comment and a like. Also, I'm working up to my 1,500 subscriber giveaway. If you have not, please leave me a like and a supportive comment on the last 5 videos that I will have released at the point when I hit the 1,500. Now, I think I picked up a few new channels right now, so I'm probably up to 1,490 or so. So I'm less than 10 probably. And anytime in the next few days or a week, I should hit the 1500. So if you want an opportunity to be in my drawing, for me to draw a name out of a hat, you need to do that. And remember, the Boy Scout motto is to be prepared. Everybody be prepared. You know, life is good, but it is what it is. And everybody, thank you for coming in this evening, and have a blessed day. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. And the Lord bless you all.